Hello, Andrea Ross here from the Career Establishment, and welcome to Talent Tips Tuesday, where every couple of weeks I take a recruiter challenge from you out there across the region and try and tackle it. So today we've got a challenge which is engaging passive candidates. So, one of the trickiest tasks at recruiting is engaging candidates that don't want to move jobs yet. These we coined them passive candidates or headhunt candidates. And these are your top quality candidates that are getting regularly contacted by other recruiters, and it's even harder for you at trying to convince them to consider your role. So it's really important that you use the right questions, that you ask the right questions to persuade, influence them to talk to you further about the role that you're representing them for, or even speculatively sending them out to a client. So I put together some questions that you can ask them to consider for the role. So here are a selection of them. So here we go, let's get to it. So first of all, we want to really open it up before we start persuading and influence them. Well, we need to take a step back first and just get some engagement. So let me just read out just one example of a typical kind of script. So, hello, John. My name is Andrea Ross, calling from Exxon Partners. We've not spoken before, but your name was given to me by someone who we share within our networks. Now, they spoke highly of you, so I thought it might be worth checking if you might be open to hearing about a specific opportunity that I'm sourcing for right now. Would you be open to a conversation about that? Now, they could easily go yes or no. Totally appreciate that. So if it's yes, then great, we can talk about the role. Hey, that's easy. But more often than not, they say no. And that's when it leads us to our next question. So these are just a selection of questions. They're not ones to use all of them at the same time, but you'll find one or two that will resonate with you. And so pick the ones that you think are good. Please ask me for the slides or just take a picture. It's all good. So, what is an essential factor for your next role? Because we want to get them to start picturing what that future role could look like, because then we can sort of unearth what they may not be getting in their current role. So if you get them to really be thinking, oh, if I was to move, I'd probably look at, say, a role with maybe not so much travel. My kids are quite young. I want to spend more time with them. And then you can really start to dig a little bit deeper on, how important is that for you right now? And then you can start to sort of persuade and influence them to talk to you further about the role. If you were to consider a move, what would you be looking for in your next role? That's a great one. It's really open-ended, but it gets you really to identify the motivators for them to move. So keep it really broad and then start probing further. You mentioned that it was a role without travel. Talk me through a little bit more about what kind of percentages that would look like and how successful are you able to do that type of role where you are right now. And then you can start sort of unearthing what are the problems in their current role. Are you open to discussing the possibility of comparing your present position? Oh, let me move my little face out of the way. Are you open to discussing the possibility of comparing your present position with an opportunity outside your organisation? I think that's quite a formal one, and in some parts of the world that would probably work quite well. Maybe for more senior level candidates that would work as well. Just out of interest, what is currently missing in your current role? I like to kind of add those more informal ways of asking a question than a what is currently missing. I find that can be sometimes a little bit aggressive. So, just out of interest, or hope you don't mind me asking, but, would you mind sharing with me, what is currently missing in your current role? Again, you're getting to unearth the things that their needs are not getting met. What would you like to accomplish in this role, but has been a challenge for you so far? That's an interesting one, because again, you're getting them to be reflecting, thinking about whether there are certain elements in the role that they're just not getting. And again, you can get them to, you can probe further from there. Is this your dream job? If so, why? And if not, what would it take to make it one? Again, you put it in your own language, your own way of asking that. But really, again, it's getting them to see, is it really, especially this time of the year, when it's the start of the year and people are considering moves, is this really the type of role you want to be staying in all year? Is it really what you've been dreaming of? Do you get up in the morning with really positive and excited for the day ahead? What are your concerns about having a casual chat with my client? Sometimes you really do have to just get to that question. What are the specific concerns that you have about having a really casual chat? I say casual because then we're lessening it. We're not making it so serious. We're getting the candidate to feel that it's okay, it's just a casual chat. We all know as soon as you start getting people to meet, then it can become more serious. But initially, we really want to just be going in with a casual chat with the client. What are your concerns? Is there any, what are those concerns that I can perhaps perhaps address them with you. Again, I find I probably wouldn't go to that question first. I would first of all say, what's preventing you from having a preliminary discussion with me on this role? Because obviously we know the process will be with you first as a recruiter, then the client. So it's a good idea to ask that one first. What's the one single thing that could make your current position significantly better? It might be, if it's a significant thing, it's going to be important. And then again, you can probe further. How does it feel that it isn't necessarily in your role now? Is that okay? How do you feel about that? Is that something that can be achieved in the short term? When do you think that is something that could materialize? Are you willing to wait? What are the repercussions of waiting? What are the risk factors of waiting? All those kind of things. Again, you can see that I'm probing and getting and influencing by some sort of negative questioning. What factors would you consider looking outside of your current role? You know, what are those things? What are the things that you're looking for? Less travel. Again, it's quite similar to the ones above, but it's just a different way of asking it. How long have you been in your current role? Is it equally as satisfying now as it was when you first started? You know, what's changed for you? Again, this is all spoken in a very conversational, it's not so rigid. Yeah, you're being empathetic with that. It's questioning, you're trying to discover information. So hopefully you have gained a great deal of insight into what you can be asking passive or headhunted candidates, because it's the time of year where you want to be making sure that you've got some fantastic candidates to put forward to your clients, whether it's for specific roles or for on a speculative basis. So I hope that was useful. Do reach out with any other recruitment challenges that you have. Do check out our YouTube channel where you'll see other Talent Tip Tuesdays. Check out our podcast, Talent Talk Asia. Subscribe to our podcast and to our Talent Tip Tuesdays, and also every week I feature a awesome podcast that I've listened to, which isn't necessarily just my own. It might be another one, another person's podcast, and that's called Andrea Picks. So do check out everything, and good luck for the year ahead, and look forward to seeing you on the next Talent Tip Tuesday. Over and out.